Hello, I thought I'd weigh in on the Intex 6-person PureSpa and give it a little review of how I've found it for the past 2 weeks. This is the Intex 6-person PureSpa bubble massage. I've got it standing up like this because I'm just in the process of cleaning it out. I have it in like a wooden surround with a see-through, semi-see-through tap. As you can see, the size of it for the floor to that beam of wood is 6'1", so you can see that it's quite a big size. That is the insulation you get with it. It seems to do the job. We're kind of cold in Scotland, and it's been doing very well so far. Not lost any heat. Here's a control unit that I've dismantled here, and it seems to be going well. Overall, when you blow it up, the thing's solid. I'll show more when I set it on the ground. Good depth, brilliant size. I've had 5 people in it, and it's been fine so far. So I'll set it up right, and then we'll go more into the review. So here it is, all laid out flat, as you can see. I have the hose into it, just filling it up now. There's a filter there. When you first fill it up, the filter will last about maybe 3 days before it needs a clean. It seems like tap water's got a very big amount of particles in it, and it does require a bit of cleaning after maybe 2 to 3 days. But don't worry about it, they're very easy to clean. Some fairy liquid, hot water, and a wee scrape, and that'll clean. So the first day we got this, I made the epic mistake by filling it up with just cold water, and it took a day to heat up, as it states. It cost me about £10 in electricity. If you're in America, that's maybe about $13–14. So that was a big mistake. So I over chemicalised it, made my water into a bit of acid, so I had to basically ditch it and try again. So what I did was, basically when the cold water was halfway up the filter, I switched it to hot water, and that here in the UK it varies, but our tap water is about 55 degrees centigrade. So by the time it was filled up, it made it round about the 40 mark, and it cost basically nothing to heat up, apart from gas, but gas is a hell of a lot cheaper. It wasn't £10 anyway. We're talking maybe about, I don't know, 50 pence to a pound worth of gas. So that was a lesson learnt there, and I'll do the same when filling up this one. As you can see, it's some size. I think I mentioned we had 5 people in it, plenty of room. This is a bladder. This is the only thing I've had a problem with. This is essentially the top cover, and it gets an inflated bladder inside. So what had happened was, after maybe 3 or 4 days, you notice it's a ringed effect on the bladder. Now what had happened was, one side of the rings started popping one way, and the other side of the rings were popping the other way, and it was making it uneven. I have no idea why it did this. It's not as if we've got extreme weather in the UK that could melt it. So I absolutely no idea. So I contacted Intex via the UK seller, which was John Adams, and after a few emails they sent out another one, which arrived about 5 days, took about 5 days. So that's the new one just set up there, and a wee bit later I'll show you the cover sitting on top of it, and it bobs away nicely and keeps the heat in. One thing I will add is, I did watch a review before buying this, and I noticed a guy says with one of his reviews, it's pretty firm, and he tapped it and the whole top just crumpled. And I thought, Jesus, that can't be right. But I've just re-inflated mine there. I let some air out just when I had it for a few days with nothing in it, and it is quite firm. when the water goes in it gets even firmer. There is a pressure gauge that comes with it. There you are. And I had it just a tiny wee bit before the yellow. I wouldn't deviate for that because it does get hard and it wouldn't be nice to fill it up and watch it go boom. I did notice though, I think over the 2 weeks it's been up and never lost a bit of air, not at all. That was a worry of mine, would I have to try and re-inflate it and disconnect all the hoses to the main unit, but no, there was nothing like that. I will say that whatever it's made of, it does stain quite easy. I don't know if you can see that, there's a few bits. Basically that was, I just put this fence up and it comes with a pre-treated orange stain on it. Easy to wash off your hands, but touch the fence, touch the sides of this. Even on the base, there's a few bits on the base, it does stain, and I have scrubbed it with bleach and everything else I could think of, and it will not budge. So I would imagine it would be the same way maybe women's makeup, fake tan. I wouldn't let anybody in it with covered in fake tan anyway, but there you go, that's something to be aware of when you buy it. So there we go, one full Intex PureSpa ready to go. I'll put the buttons on. Buttons are really strong. So with these spas, the good thing is when you put the bubbles on, the heater continues to work. Unlike the lazy spa selection, the minute you put the bubbles on, the heater knocks off, which isn't very good. So that was the biggest selling point of this for me, and that's why I got it. So there we have it. That's some instructions, my review, the Intex PureSpa, and I'll put the lid on and then show you what it's like with that, and then that's it. So there we have it, with the bladder and the lid on. The lid just goes on, snaps into place with some clips all the way around the side, keeps it nice and secure. Those clips are lockable as well, just in case you want to leave it. I don't know, I keep mine under gate and padlock. For filling it up, I've got it to 36 degrees, so with the lid on that, I'll just take a couple of hours. There's rain pouring in, as you can see, typical Scottish weather. Never mind, we will still be out in this tonight. Essential extras I would say that I need to pick up as well is a spa vacuum pump. You can get them from Amazon, they range between £15 and £30. I think that would be a godsend, because trying to get all the rubbish out, it doesn't matter how hard you try, there's still some in. Oh, and of course, this is also essential, the drinks holder, definitely. It's an Intex brand, I think it's £4.99 or £5.99, and it basically just clips onto the side. Boom, there you have it. We put a wee Bluetooth speaker on there, 2 drinks, and that is us sorted. Well, that's my review. I would give this a 10 out of 10. We use it pretty much any chance we get. It stays warm long enough. With the bubbles on, maybe in about 30 to 40 minutes you'll lose a couple of degrees. It's no big deal. We tend to stay in it maybe an hour or something like that, and it's absolutely fine for us. And that's including the cold weather. So maybe in a hotter country, you'll get longer out of it. But say 2 degrees an hour it heats up. That's again in this cold weather, and that's keeping the lid on. The lid's already starting to heat up. So yeah, it's not too bad. What we do is if we're not going to use it during the day, I'll once we finish using it at night, I'll drop the degrees down to say 37 and put the lid on, and then that'll disengage the heater because it'll generally be hotter than that. and then maybe say 2 or 3 hours before we're going to use it, I'll come out, set the temperature to 40 degrees or whatever your preference may be, and then that tends to do it. But I think that's a more, as it says actually in the instructions, it's a more cost effective way, because if you just switch it on and off all the time, it's pricey. As I says, I was £10 the first day. Never make that mistake again. We've got it to maybe £1.50 to £2 a day, electricity wise. So apart from that, it's money well spent. I believe it does us good. So 10 out of 10 from me, and that's my Intex Spa review. I hope the instructions on the chemicals maybe put a wee bit of clarity into the situation when you're going to do it. Any questions, just give me a wee comment below. Thanks very much. Here's some essential extras that I think you should have. No scale. I'll just remove any scale, lime scale, or anything that's accumulating on the motor or around the side of the hot tub. Chlorine granules and chlorine tablets. I tend to put 2 chlorine tablets in, let them run out, another 2 in. It's fine doing it that way, but sometimes it's a good idea to just throw in some chlorine granules to what's called shock it, and it's basically to overdose the water. So if there's any bacteria in there that's grown immune to the chlorine, boom, dead. Water sits about pH 5.5. The hot tub water needs to be about, I think it's 7.1 and 7.6, between the two. So it's a good idea to have these as soon as you get your hot tub. What I tend to do is, when the hot tub's full, pH increaser, 1 capful of that, 1 capful I'll do a plenty, and then just check it every single day and see what happens. You might need a wee bit more. If you go overboard, pH reducer, it'll never be high on its own, it'll always be lower, so you'll only need the pH reducer if you make a mistake. Tricky to get hold of it first, but you know, it's once you know what you're doing, it's very simple, very simple.